Well, hello there. I hope everyone had a really great Thanksgiving holiday and is hanging in there for the end of the semester. I know this is a really busy time getting ready for Christmas, and you probably have more than one class in addition to your full-time job that you are wrapping up before the holidays. I'm doing that myself. So this brings us to what really is our last week of the course. There is one more week on the books, which in the syllabus, the only plan I had for that was the course evaluation, but I just received an email letting me know that that is due by December 11th. So there's really nothing left but your final grade for the final week. So this week we'll do the final evaluation as well as finish up that paper. So this paper, I was kicking around what kind of length requirement to give it. I want it to be long enough to make sense, but not so long that it is just a time-consuming and awful and daunting task. So I don't know if 3 pages is long enough to do all of the things listed. Not everything that is listed here is absolutely necessary. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. And I don't really want it to go much more than 5 pages because I don't want it to take too long for you. And the 2 purposes in my mind for this assignment is for you to take a really deep look at everything that is connected to a certain concept or skill. I keep saying concept or skill because sometimes various things that students learn are really feel more skill based, and sometimes it's a big idea or a concept. So whatever is applicable to what you chose. And perhaps it actually is a whole standard, but sometimes standards have several components to them. So whatever ends up making sense to what you chose, and it seems like everyone did a nice job choosing a standard concept or skill to focus on. So taking some time to do a really in-depth look all the way back to kindergarten and then see where that leads in the future is one purpose of this paper. And the other purpose really is to get an opportunity to look at what does APA format look like? What is how is that structured? What kind of voice should be used? Because this is in preparation for all of you to write your master's project. And so I want this to be a small version. Sometimes a really tiny paper doesn't really make sense to do APA format, but it's a good thing for you to get to look into that and see what the format looks like. I am not an expert. I'm going to be looking up details just as you all probably will. So we'll talk about that in a moment as well. All right, so here's our prompt. You're choosing the concept or skill. Now, there's all of these points, A through F, that I listed here. So again, it's a 3 to 5 page paper regarding the development of the concept or skill or standard that you've chosen. And these here are a list of ways that you could expand on your understanding of, knowledge of, how you would teach, what you would be looking for, how do you know if the student knows it or does not know it, what would you do in a class if a student knew it already and the rest of the class was struggling, if you want to go more in that direction. Basically, these are ideas on how to expand on this. If there are certain components A through F that are missing, that is okay, because this is such a brief paper. I don't know what the possibility is of going into every direction that I've listed here. So in my mind, there are ideas of how to expand on this idea, and if you don't get to all of them, that is okay, as long as it seems to be organized in thought. The paper, I think that sounds fine. So I guess that leads to the rubric. It's a pretty basic rubric, points 1, 2, 3, or 4 on these each of these categories here. So the quality of the information, basically, is it clear? Does it relate to your chosen main topic? And does it have some supporting details and or examples? That would be the ideal. And then sources. You have named some sources. Ideally, our sources would be the standards, California framework, and the progressions documents that we've been looking at. And if you're choosing to cite a lesson book or a lesson plan or DOK levels, then citing any of those sources and anything else that you come up and come up with and would like to use. And then there's the general mechanics. As far as length and neatness and organization, it's organized and it follows the APA format, and it's at least 3 pages and that sort of thing. Typed. It's in a document. The introduction of the math concept. So when the math concepts are described, they're appropriate and they're accurate, and the explanations are clear. And then the topic material explanation is well organized. It combines ideas from the sources into your own words, and it's referenced at least 3 other documents, and that shouldn't be too tough in this case. Again, if there's any questions or concerns that you have, send them to me, and I would be happy to help answer those questions for you. Okay, as far as using APA format, that stands for American Psychological Association, and I like to use this Purdue Online Writing Lab website quite a bit. There's a lot of information on both APA and MLA formatting, and I found this nice PowerPoint here that gives a good overview, and it's online, it's free. It's better than buying a book. It can be updated. One English teacher at one point, though, told me that it is not always kept up to date and that there are other sites to reference. But anyway, so it regulates stylistics, insight, and text citations, references. There's the point of view or voice that should be used in writing the paper. That it's correct to say we conducted an experiment rather than the authors conducted an experiment. We asked participants, so it's active rather than passive. The language should not be flowery. It should be clear, concise, plain, simple, descriptive. It should not include much figurative language. And so the link to this PowerPoint will be available for you to take a look. There's the format. Another thing that I really love to use is a template. So I Googled APA format, Google APA format, and found a Google Doc APA format paper template. So here it all is. You can just change some stuff. Author's name, college name, title of the paper for the first page, little abstract, and then now typically an abstract for an APA research paper would be a page or 2. And then all of the different parts, but this is a short paper, so this template looks pretty good. I don't know. So, and then the last thing, a reminder, please go to this link in our course and complete the course evaluation. This is my first course for Fresno Pacific, so it's really great to have some good feedback. And it's been my pleasure to be your teacher for this class, and I hope that you all are able to complete this paper without too much headache and be done with this course. I hope that you got some good information, and I really enjoyed reading the discussions on your forums. I think you guys probably learned far more from each other, and just kind of reading some of the resources that are out there, getting the chance to focus on some of those things. So I hope you got something out of the course, and I wish you all the best continuing your careers and in your master's program. May the Lord bless and keep you as you continue in your endeavor. So, I guess that's it for now. Let me know if anyone has any questions. Send me an email or post it in that forum. And I guess that's it. Bye-bye.